Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Darren. I've recently started uploading some videos to the channel and I thought maybe I should put a face to the person behind the videos, so here I am. And I thought I'd make a video to maybe give you some feedback on what I'm probably aiming to do in the future for the channel, because I'd like to start maybe discussing some topics, all PC related, PC gaming. I'm not an IT person. I'm not great with software. I'm okay with hardware. So I basically moved over from. I probably stopped playing consoles maybe 5 or 6 years ago. The last console I bought was the Xbox Series 1. And I think I pretty much moved away from gaming at that point. And then during the pandemic, my my girlfriend needed a PC. She needed to work from home, and I was bored. Trying to get hold of a PC at the time was a nightmare. So I decided to keep myself interested, that I would look into and purchase the parts and build her a PC, which I did. I enjoyed the process, and from that point I decided to then build myself a PC for gaming, and then from that point on I've probably built about a dozen PCs. So I've built relatively low end. I'm now on relatively high end gear. I've done air cools, lower end gear, and then I've done the whole full water cooled, custom loop, hardline water cooled. So probably about as simple as it can get to about as hard as it can get. And I've learned quite a lot in between. So there's been a lot of content that I've been listening to for the last 6 months. When I get time to watch it, I'll watch it. But for the most, I listen to a lot of content, and it's probably noticeable that there's a lot of content being made, which I'm going to assume is a lot of people that are probably moving over from console into the PC space. And it's interesting content. There's some interesting topics that get obviously brought up. I think there's a little bit of maybe Xbox versus PlayStation that's been brought across to the PC space, and it brings up some interesting arguments, conversations, let's say, between the different brands in PC. So obviously there's a lot of people with different views, which is fine. I don't expect everyone to share the same view. But then there's maybe a lot of arguments get brought up by people that haven't necessarily tried maybe certain things that they seem to argue don't work, maybe, or generally, there's a lot of arguments over upscalers, frame generation, different resolutions, native gaming, etc., etc. So I've at the moment I have access to 4 different PCs within the house. Sat next to me right now I have my main desktop PC, which I use pretty much every day, which is a Intel 13700K with a RTX 4080. And this one's connected to a 27-inch 4K monitor. In the bedroom behind me is my sim racing setup, and attached to that is a full AMD system that I've not long built. So that's a 7900 XTX with a 7800 X3D processor. So as far as gaming goes, that's about as high as you're going to get on the AMD side. I built a PC not long ago for my daughter, including a lot of parts that I upgraded from in the past. So she's running a 13600K with a RTX 4070, and my son has somehow taken hostage to my water cooling build, which is a 12700K with a RTX 3080 Ti. And the AMD rig, I've just purchased a Alienware ultra-wide 34-inch OLED. So that's been interesting, testing that out. I put up a couple of videos over the last couple of days, trying to configure that on the sim racing rig. So there's been a few racing videos put up. I did try out a bit of Red Dead Redemption 2 last night on that, and it looked incredible in ultra wide. But I was having a few problems with recording on that, so I'm gonna try and sit down over the weekend, maybe do some videos on that. But as far as the channel goes, I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I'm kind of thinking I'd actually quite like to do some discussion-based content if I can get enough, obviously, feedback, followers. I'd probably like to go through some of the discussions that happen over, probably I'd probably like to help people moving on to PC if I can. Like I said, I'm definitely no expert, but I'm probably able to give advice on what maybe I think what's good to buy, what isn't good to buy, expectations, which is always a hard one. And then I think I've got enough knowledge in building some of the PCs that I've done that I can possibly help people out, help people in the community out. And then I'd like to, obviously, if discussions come up, I'd like to be able to use the hardware that I've got to maybe go through some of the discussions. I can capture some footage, even if it's how I like to set up games. I know there's a lot of arguments that native is king, etc., etc., but I'm not going to say that those people aren't valid in what they think. If that's what they truly think, then they're totally entitled to think that. But in the last couple of years that I've been running PC, I actually think the technology with the upscalers has been really good, and at certain levels I think it's definitely worth using. There's a lot of negativity around it, and I'd like to probably cover some of that in some videos. Frame generation, I think, is gonna... I wasn't keen on frame generation to start with. I think it's come a long way. I think FSR3 frame generation is really promising. So I don't think any of these... I don't think we should be over negative towards these things moving forwards. So yeah, this is kind of maybe the content I'm leaning towards doing. I'm probably thinking of doing some screen capture footage. I might put my face in the corner, or I might talk over. But we'll see where we go. Hopefully, if I can get enough feedback, that'll probably lead to maybe some topics that we can go through and discuss. But if not, I'll probably just carry on going through, playing my games. When something looks good, I'll probably feel the need to record it and put up a video, and that'll be that. But obviously, thank you for watching if you did, and if you do like this content, then please like and maybe subscribe and leave a comment, maybe see where we go forwards. Yeah, and again, thank you for watching.